Welcome. I'm your host, Jesse Sawyer, nationally recognized inclusive fitness trainer, Silver Sneaker Flex instructor, and today I have another Silver Sneaker Classic exercise routine for you in the seated position. But for those that want to do it in the standing, you may more than welcomely do it. Now, we are going to be doing some exercises and activities in the standing position throughout this entire exercise routine, but you got to remember, classic routine is lightweight dumbbells, resistance bands, those Pilates balls with a warm-up and a cool-down with hydration, rated perceived exertion 1 through 10, and make sure you pay attention to posture after you get physician's clearance to start this exercise routine. And if you want to learn more about me, go and visit my website, www.jessesawyer.com, and learn how to utilize science to master your fitness. Let's get started. Arms are going to be down to the side, toes over knees over hips, hips over shoulders. Sit up on the edge of that chair, back, and that scapula is off that exercise chair. And we're going to be in a nice upright position, nice upright posture, and my hands are going to be in the neutral position. That means thumbs will be up just like this. And what I'd like you to do now is give a thumbs up to this exercise routine. Don't ever give it a thumbs down. Out to the side, thumbs are now going to be in the pronated position, and we're just going to come forward and tap them. Squeeze your shoulders, come forward and tap. Squeeze and forward. There you go. Good job. So we're pushing back in that horizontal position and just coming forward. Let's do 2 more. There's 1. There's 2. And then come back to that forward. Thumbs are touching again, and I want you to lift on up. 1. 2. Now this is the sagittal plane. 3. That we're working in right now. 4. 5. 6, 7, keep them up on 8, and then I'm going to go all the way out down to the side in that frontal and postural train. Upright, did I say train too? That is Christmas season, looking for those trains going around out in that snow. Let's get 4 more. 4, nice good shrugs, getting your levator scapulae here. 5, 6, 7, and 8, rest them down. Arm circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and arm circles again. Now these are arm circles where your hands are in the sand, so circles in the sand. 3 more, 2, and 1. Rest those hands on those thighs, pull them up, and then let's do some opposition, just squeezing those fingers. Again, we're just trying to warm up. We're trying to get the entire body in a flow with some energy before we go to either the dumbbells, resistance bands, or those Pilates balls. And we're going to be adding some new exercises today along the way. So now if you can stand, what we want to do is we want to stand on up. Good job. And now I want you to slowly sit back down. Stand on up and slowly sit back down. Now I don't want you to utilize anything to stand on up. And if you can't stand on up, what I want you to do is I want you to just take those arms and lift them up nice and high, just like that. Let's do 2 more. There's 1 and 2. And as we're in that standing position, I want you to go to your left, walk around to the side of your chair. I do have the pillow back here blocking the light for you today. And then we want to work on abduction. So we're just going to kick them out, some external rotation. 2, 3, use the chair if necessary. 4, 5, nice and upright. 6, 7, and 8, bring it back, and now we're going to work on some flexion, right? We're going to bring that knee. 2, we're going to work that psoas. 3, that psoas originates in the lower lumbar and the thoracic part of the spine, the lower part of the thoracic spine, the T12, all the way through the L1 through the L5, and then it wraps around 14 to 16 inches into the femur. So the more you sit, the tighter it gets, and the more it pulls you forward. And then you have back discomfort. So we want to walk to the right side. So we want to make sure that we activate that flexion. We want to strengthen up that short flexion, especially at the rectus femoris. We want to lift on up. 1. And nice and tall. 2. We don't want to get pulled forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're in the seated position. 8, that's typically what happens. Slide behind that chair, and now we're going to do a calf raise. 1, 2, this is going to work the entire calf. Although you're not going to get the greatest stretch in the lower position, you are going to work the entire calf from this position. 3 more. and 3, and then rest it down. Have a seat, get your hydration, and let's get ready as we grab that Pilates ball. That's where we're going to start today. We're going to start with that Pilates ball. We'll make sure you have your hydration and then get prepared and ready for this exercise. With that Pilates ball right now, what I want you to do is put it in the right hand, wave to me, and then I want you to just hinge at the elbow. Elbow hinges, the flexion, and the extenders of the elbow are very powerful. And I just want you to walk it across the chest. Good. Now walk it all the way back. Using those fingers, this hand's all the way out. So now I'm going to just rotate and turn, and I'm going to walk it all the way out to this hand. Good. Open up. Hinge. Going to turn and rotate. Open up again, and I'm going to hinge. Since it is a hinge exercise and you are hinging, it is a sagittal move. Although we are staying in more of hinge. As you hinge, right, you go into the sagittal plane. We are staying more in that frontal plane because we're just rolling it out. Good. Open up. Hinge. And rotate. Again, you don't want to move those legs. Try to keep them stationary as you do this exercise. Roll it all the way through. Ooh, it's a tough exercise, right? Because you got to rotate and you have to stretch. And if you're not prepared for this, well, you know you're going to feel that stretch. Open up. Good. Drop it all the way down. Curl right to here. Good. We're going to stand on up and press. 1. Nice squat. Press on up. 2, 3, and you're going to have to excuse me in a moment right here. 4, Lincoln's at the back door. I'll be right back. Give me 10 seconds. You count down a while. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'm back, and I have Lincoln, and I have Kia. Bentley's outside. And I'm going to come back to this position again. Now in the seated position, again, what I want you to do is I want you to rest them down. And now I want you to take the right hand up. Good. Hold it here and spin it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it all the way down. Exchange. Drop. Left goes up. Circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring it all the way down and drop, and then curl it all the way up just like that. Awesome job. I'm going to stand on up again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that ball down. I'm going to squat down, and then I'm going to lift up and exchange. Squat, lift up, and exchange. There you go. Working in flexion. Let's do 3 more. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Awesome job. Go a little wider with those feet. And now I'm going to take that ball in that right hand and I'm going to go underneath the left, underneath the right, and I'm just going to basketball move it, figure 8. Now if you have long sweatpants on like me, you might hit those sweatpants as you go through. So we're just shifting and tough moves right here. Try to stay nice and upright and look at me as you do this exercise. As you can see, I'm looking at you and exchanging that ball, right? Because we don't want to be like this. No, 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 no. We don't want to be like that. We want to be upright. And now if you can't go through those legs, just go back and forth in front of your knees and shift and figure 8 as you shift through. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2. And get rid of that Pilates ball. We don't want to work you too hard and utilize all the new movements today. We're going to get rid of that ball. We want you to hydrate. And then the next thing we want you to do is grab those lightweight dumbbells. Here we go. It's the long exercise routine today. The wife's outside taking care of the leaves right now. Lincoln, Kia, and Bentley is, chasing leaves outside. Arms down to the side. We're going to go into a concentrated curl coming across the body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and rest it down. I want to put weights here. I want to put the one weight here. I'm going to go nice and wide with my feet, and then I'm going to take this side, and I'm going to put the elbow in this position, and I'm going to come up 1 and squeeze. So here I'm working the brachialis, and that falls somewhere between the long head and the tricep, the lateral head of the tricep. 4, and that's all. I'm staying in pronated position. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now I'm going to stand and sit back up if I am in a leaning position and a standing position. And now I'm going to put it here. So this is mainly meant for a seated position exercise. 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's staying in neutral and pronated grip the entire time. Let's do 2 more. And then stand back on up or sit back on up. There you go. Hammer curl next. 1, 2. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take the bicep out of it. 3. The bicep is a very strong radial ulnar supinator, right? So if the hands are in supination, it is going to be very dominant to the bicep. Right now it is in pronation or in a neutral grip, so it's not going to be very dominant. It's going to get more of the brachyradialis. That's right here. Run through here. Brachialis runs up through here. Now let's go in pronated position. Take the entire bicep out. Flip them up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and keep them up on 8. Internally rotate them so they're about 20 degrees, and then press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep them up on 8, and we're going to static hold them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower them and get rid of those weights because we are done with those dumbbells. Get your hydration. Go to the bands. We have the bands, and then we have drum roll, cool down. There we go. Get those bands out in front of you. Nice little stretch here. Hold it here right in front as your arms are going to reach for those walls. Holding those walls up, you're going to come in, you're going to clap, and you're just going to stretch it out. Just care so that band doesn't hit you in the face or the neck or the head. Nice good stretch. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2. From this position, I'm going to come back in. I'm going to walk my fingers in. A little dexterity. Yes. You're going to feel those shoulders because now you're holding that band in this position. Walk them back out to the handles. Now again, if you don't have this type of equipment, you can order it on Amazon, or you can, if you're a SilverSneaker member, you can contact SilverSneakers directly and ask them to send you a band. They do send free equipment each year. Or you can grab a towel, or you can grab also a stick, right, from outside, or a pull, or a broomstick, or a mop stick, if you have a mop. Out in front, right here, there you go, or a bamboo stick. I got lots of bamboo, and we're gonna hold right here. So I'm gonna grab the handles on the right side, and I'm gonna grab the band with the left side. Little accordion, hold that tension. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release. I'm gonna change my angle, come down just a little bit right around the rib cage. Right there, there you go. So I'm gonna be at those external costals now. Pulling out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And then I'm gonna take it way up above my head, and I'm going to add some tension. Now this tension is going to go more on the anterior part of the shoulder because you are engaging the long head with abduction of the bicep. So the opposing gravity goes to the anterior delt. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it and bring it down and press it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if you don't have this band, use a towel. 6, 7, or use a pull or a stick or a broom handle would work greatly. Take those bands, stepping onto them with the arches, both feet, and now I'm going to curl up. 1, 2, in concentrated curl. 3, 4, that means I'm in supinated position. 5, 6, 7, 8, right side for 4. 1, 2, 3, try to get full extension, and then the left side. 1, 2, 3, and then alternate for 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Rest them down, turn them around, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're taking the bicep out of this. 6, 7. Keep them up on 8, and slowly go down for an eccentric. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release and get rid of those bands. Get your hydration, and then let's go to that cool down, which we're all looking forward to. In fact, I'm very looking forward to this, and so are the dogs, so they can have my attention back. So in this position, what I want you to do is I want you to kick out that left leg after you get a little bit of hydration. Should be up on the heel, and I want you to sit forward nice and tall. I want you to take a big deep breath here, and then lower those hands into this position and lean forward as you're pressing down on the thigh or the quad, and you're pulling those toes back towards you as you lean forward. There you go. So you should feel the back of that leg. In fact, you should feel that hamstring, you should feel that calf, because you are in a straightened position. And again, the hamstring's biarticulate, and so is the calf. It is biarticulate as well, meaning it runs over two joints, the origination and the assertions. Slowly bring that leg back. Take the right leg, stick it straight out in front of you, straighten it, pull those toes back, heel straight down. Big deep breath up. Exhale, press down on the quad and lean forward again. Nice and tall, nice and straight. Looking forward at me and pressing down and pulling those toes back. Excellent job. Pushing to the ground. Awesome job. Looking good. Now drag that foot back. Good. Lift up the left. Rotate the ankle. Rotate the other way. Now you're going to do some plantar flex, dorsey flex. Plantar's pushing down, dorsey's pulling up. We struggle with the dorsey as our ankles get tight, our knees get tight, and our hips get tight because we stay in that flexion position this way. We don't want to be in that flexion position. We want to be nice and upright in an extension position. Lift on up, rotate. Rotate the other side. And then push those toes down, plantar, dorsey, plantar, dorsey, plantar, dorsey. Now, we can do eversion and inversion, right? E and in and V, however you want. You could add that to the routine as well if you'd like. And then I'm going to be in this position, seated again. And I'm going to take my neck and I'm going to turn a cervical rotation. Back to the front, cervical rotation to the right. Back to the front, cervical side bend. Back to the front and neutral, cervical side bend. Back to the front, chin to chest. Right into the medial sternal, or the sternal end of the clavicle. And you got your shaft, and you get your acromion end, and you got your lateral end out here. So we're going to turn our neck more towards that lateral end, and we're going to drop the chin. There you go. You're going to get a different stretch. Lift on up. Come all the way over. Take that chin. Drop it over to the lateral end over here. Lift all the way up. Come back to that center. And boom. My time is up. Peace. I'm out. Make sure you hydrate throughout. Make sure you like this video. And then come back a little bit more. Or come back later. Or come back another time. However you like. Lots of videos out there for you. I got to take care of these squirrely dogs right now. And I got to produce a couple more videos.